Hi, I'm Weiser Cornell, and this is Support for Stressful Times. We've been doing the Support for Stressful Times webinar since March of 2020. If you recall, that was a time when things seemed to get extra stressful for a lot of people. And we're still doing them because I don't feel less stressed. I mean, yeah, in some ways. And yet, as life unfolds, it seems to remain stressful for me. How about you? Are you experiencing stress in your life? Does it feel like we're in stressful times? Not just your own personal stress, although that is really important, like from your own family or your own work situation, but that there's kind of a overall stress that we are facing together. And that's, yes, I get in the chat, absolutely. So then we're going to pull some of our ideas here about how to survive stressful times. Yes, I'm definitely getting yes, yes. Andrea writes, the planet is also stressed. Yes. And the stress of the planet stresses us all. So let's pause together. And my primary number one ability that I need in stressful times is the ability to pause. And when I pause, to me, that means becoming more aware of my body, letting myself slow down. Let's do that together right now. Letting myself slow down. I start to feel, if I'm sitting, I start to feel the support underneath me. Can you feel that too? And I become aware of my breathing. That's our first thing that we can do as a response to stress all day long. Things I want to show you right now are not just for right now. They're things you can have with you all day long in any situation. Even if you're in the middle of something, like I'm in the middle of being the host of a webinar, it's still possible to pause, slow down, take a deeper breath, and be aware of yourself. Be aware of how you are. Now, when you pause and when you become aware, notice what happens. I think if you're like me, you become more aware of your body. And there are areas often in the body that feel stressed, that are sort of carrying the stress. Maybe for you, it's your shoulders or your back or your stomach, solar plexus area, or your throat. Notice. Do you want to notice that right now? Like at this moment, right now, when you pause, what's your body letting you know? Well, the first thing my body lets me know is that it really likes me to pause and slow down. And then I feel a tight place kind of in my middle upper back. And I notice I'm moving around a little to see if that'll help. But the other thing to do, rather than trying to alleviate uncomfortable feelings, is to say hello to them. If you're feeling uncomfortable somewhere in your body right now, notice what it would be like to say, hello, I know you're there, to that feeling. This is a radical move. So often we try not to feel the uncomfortable ways we're feeling. Sometimes in your life, trying not to feel how you feel can even turn into unhealthy habits and addictive behaviors, like eating or drinking too much, or scrolling on screens for hours. We can go directly to just saying hello to the feelings. I know it's uncomfortable and I'm saying hello to it. But maybe the word uncomfortable doesn't fit. Okay, so the next step is to take a moment. You pause, you feel your body, and if your body's speaking to you about stress, then notice where that is. And then maybe locating an area or a place in your body that is feeling stressed, saying hello to that. And who is it who can say hello like that? A kind of hello that doesn't, I don't like it, so I'm saying hello to it. A kind of hello that's accepting in a way. I mean, that's part of me, and I know, I get it. You know, my little place in my back feeling kind of tense today. I say hello. Whatever it is, it's a part of me. It's my body. It's my beloved body. Is your body beloved? I hope so. Your body is you. Your body is your partner. Just pausing to sense. Just pausing to sense. And taking your time. Okay, you paused, you brought awareness to your body, you said, I'm sensing. I'm sensing if there's a place or an area of my body where I'm feeling stressed. And then I bring awareness to that. And then I say, hello, I know you're there and I'm with you. Hello, I know you're there and I'm with you. And then sit down and be a listener to that area or that place inside you. Now, being a listener to an area or place in your body is very interesting. How often do we kind of jump to the conclusion, the assumption, I already know what that's about? Did you notice that? I feel a stressed place in my body and I already know what it's about. It's very common. I do it. But here's a wild idea. What if once you let that I already know what it's about thought play out, what if you don't know? What if you hold an attitude of interested curiosity? And wait, I don't already know what it's about. I need to bring awareness to it and keep my awareness to it, describing it and sensing how it feels from its point of view. So you found an area of your body feeling stressed. And then you say hello with this kind of open acceptance. Okay, hello, this is here. I know you're here. And then you listen. Let go of the assumption. Like, notice and let go of the assumption that you already know what it's about. So if I do that with that place in my back, first thing that comes is I get an image like a clenched fist, like this. Like there's It's funny. There's a fist in my back that's clenched. So whatever happened for you, just notice. And whatever comes, like in my case, the fist that's clenched, I kind of repeat it back to the place. Okay, I sense you're feeling like a clenched fist. Is that right? And then what happened for me just now, and what might happen for you, is that you get a little bit of relief or relaxing if it's right. It doesn't mean it's gone away, but you get this, yeah, that's right signal, or thanks for listening. Things just slightly ease up. So I come back again to the feeling, it's still there. And I ask again, how is it with you? That's a clenched fist about something, huh? So I'm building on what I've already gotten in touch with to, to add to my ability to just be there with presence and curiosity and listening. Oh, well, what just came for me is it feels like it has to hold something together in my life right now. Oh, okay. Let me say that back to it. And you can do that with yours too. Whenever something comes, you say it back because you're a listener. And listeners don't react. Like, what do you feel like you're? It's, oh, you feel like you're holding something together, huh? Is that right? And again, I get that little easing that comes from, yeah, you got it right. And then maybe there's more. So that's the process. And I'm I'm getting the feeling that many of you are doing that too right now as we sit here together. This is what this is really the kernel of the thing that I think helps us all day long is that we can pause, take a moment, notice, and if there's something kind of calling for attention somewhere in the body, take some further moments to be there with that, to give that some company, some attention. So different from I can't stop. I can't let myself feel how I feel. That comes from a part that's afraid, usually, of being overwhelmed by feelings or being unable to deal with them. Well, that can happen, especially in stressful times. Time gets shorter. There's so many. Do you feel this too? There's so many things we have to deal with. During the lockdown of the pandemic, I didn't feel that so much. I had a lot of time, basically. I even started doing some crafts. But now, almost like time has sped up. Is it like that for you? But the thing about this pausing and sensing is it doesn't take much time. Doesn't take much time. Just want to visit the chat a moment because I see that some people are writing. Heather wrote, I've gone through several levels in the process. I looked at the image and found my arms embracing space with the words, I'm holding too much. So I'm saying it back. Oh, I sense you're holding too much. And the arms relax and the thought I'm holding on runs away. Wow. Thanks for sharing that. May writes, something in my body feels like a hanger that can't find a hook. And the hook would help it find lightness. Such lovely metaphors. And May, I hope that when you say that back to that place that feels like a hanger without a hook, oh, so vivid, that you check if that fits. And even if you don't find your hook yet, you're understanding how that part of you feels helps bring a little A little, little settling, a little deeper breath. Those are signals, that when your body settles a little and your breath gets deeper, that's like a signal you're on the right track. And what I like to say is the essence of what we're doing here is being a friend to ourselves. And don't you need a friend all day long? I have I have good friends, but there's only one of them who I live with, and many who I meet by screens. And yet the I'm the one who's with me all day long. And that's who I need to be my own best friend. And in stressful times, friendship and connection is so important. We we need those connections with others. I know I need them. And we need the connection with ourselves. This process that I'm showing you comes from inner relationship focusing. I think most of you or all of you know that. But let's just pause and think about that inner relationship focusing. What is that inner relationship? That healing, empowering, stress relieving inner relationship. It's your relationship with yourself. When I say you, I'm referring to the larger you, the you that can choose to pause, the you that can say to what you're feeling, hello, I know you're there. The you that can be a listener to the uncomfortable or stressed places in your body. And this is a way to stress less. Today's theme is less stress or stress less. Because stressful times are going on. Obviously, we know that people have different reactions to that. And that means your body and your reaction are unique. You get to be curious. How is it for me? I think it's really, really powerful and powerfully important to say that I can't know what is your reaction to what's going on in your life. You're the one who knows. I grew up in a family that didn't talk about feelings very much. I didn't have a vocabulary for feelings, and I didn't have models of people noticing how they felt and acknowledging them. And when I was in my 20s, I had the good luck to meet Eugene Gendler, the man who became my mentor and the developer of focusing. And he had a community gathered around him, people who all, like me, wanted to learn from him and wanted to practice this process with each other. And it was in that world that I heard the magical words for the first time. And how is that for you? Wow. And how is that for you? Never heard those before. Never had anybody in my life, in my school, in my church, in my family, be interested in my feelings and my inner life. And how is that for you? Wonderful. And then when we'd answer the question, how is it for me? The other person would continue to say, oh, that's how it is. And that's how we can treat ourselves. Pausing to find a place in your body that's feeling stressed. And then saying to it, and how is that for you? Powerful moment that we're talking about today. An antidote to stress, a way of gathering yourself even when things are overwhelming. Do you do you get what I'm saying when I say this doesn't have to take much time? And so that terrible feeling that I can't pause. I ha- I've got too many things to do. Do other people relate to that feeling? It's all coming at me, or I'm facing it all, and I can't pause. And then pause and notice the feeling that you can't pause. I'm realizing that I'm feeling like I can't pause is a miracle. Just do that sometimes. Nicole writes, it's nice to feel my tension in the chest and be with it instead of being overwhelmed. There you go. We think that by pausing and noticing how we feel, that will make it worse, that will make life harder. It's the opposite. Pause, notice how we feel with no assumptions. I can, oh, I think that's this, or I think that's that. I could guess about it all day long. Not very polite, though, to your body. You don't want to go up to somebody and say, how are you? No, don't tell me. I already know. And I already know why. Oh, let's treat our bodies like we would want to be treated. With how is that for you? Andrea writes, I'm getting in touch with how many parts of my body are contracted and hurt. But after feeling the pain and breathing with it, I let a little of the pain flow out. It makes a difference, doesn't it? To pause and notice, even when what you notice is that many parts of the body are contracted and hurt. It's because you are entering into this inner world from an attitude of acceptance and welcome and curiosity. And if that's hard, if I don't feel welcoming, what do I do if I don't feel welcoming? Well, then I say hello to something in me that doesn't feel welcoming. There's always something to say hello to. And I am the one who can say hello. Megumi writes about the panicked, out of control feeling in my chest. My mind was initially saying, how do I fix it? I don't know how. But once I said hello to it and listened to it, it eased considerably on its own. I didn't have to do anything other than be there and listen. I'm so touched by your sharing, Megumi. And I think that's so familiar. I do it too. When I find something uncomfortable somewhere, how do I fix it? And then that part of me that wants to fix it can get panicked, but I don't know how to fix it. And it's a whole different world to simply say hello to it. Then we'll see what happens next. But very often, there's a whole shift that happens when what I need to do is say hello to this. And hello leads to a simple presence, simply being with it as it is. And then something new can happen. Nicole writes, I have a question. In your book, you write about the difference between being overwhelmed by emotions and looking at it. I am often overwhelmed and then I have to cry. How can I be more looking at it instead of being overwhelmed and in panic? Thank you so much for that question. It's really a key question. And in answer, I'm going to tell you about the presence language. that I developed from noticing what people were doing who were successful at this being with overwhelm. The language is, I am sensing something in me feels, fill in the blank, and in this case, it might be overwhelmed. I am sensing something in me feels overwhelmed. Now, if you feel overwhelmed and you say, I'm sensing something in me feels overwhelmed, at first that might not feel true. Like, no, it's all of me. But do it again. And this time, remember, it may feel like all of you, but there's more to you than that. And the words, I am sensing, something in me feels, can remind you. And as you say, I am sensing, you can probably feel your body getting a bit bigger and wider, your breath coming out. I am sensing something in me feeling really overwhelmed right now. And I'm saying hello to that. So this is the something language. Something in me feels. I am sensing. I am noticing. I am aware that something in me feels tense, tight, like a hanger looking for a hook, like a clenched fist. I am sensing something in me feels anxious, terrified, angry, overwhelmed, hopeless. That language, I am sensing something in me feels, is part of the transformative pause. When we pause and turn toward ourselves, a transformation is happening. We are living in stressful times. We don't see an end to that. I'll speak for myself. I don't see an end to that. I'm sensing something in me that's worried. Things are just going to get harder. And, that didn't stop being true. But when I said it that way, I could feel my breath getting bigger. I'm sensing something in me worried. Things are going to get more stressful. And yet when I say that, my body sits back and relaxes. So we've had our time. We're coming to the end. People are starting to thank me in the chat. And come again. We do this every month. We didn't do it in August because it's August, but other than that, we do it the third Wednesday of every month. And I would love to see you every time, because this is our little oasis of calm that we can have together. And I never plan what I'm going to say, so you can come, and it will probably be somewhat new. So glad you are here. So glad you are here. Take care. And remember, pausing, sensing, saying hello, and listening. Bye for now.